And bro, every time Chaos would beat Pro or one of them would beat each other, you check announcements and there's some bullshit going on. Oh man. All right.
Sheik.
Sheik. Okay, yeah, we got Rizmo Sheik going over here. Probably like Godly has played so many people's secondary Sheiks and main Sheiks and basically beaten all of them in PR tournaments. Taylor would hope to make history based on his recent character pick. But back to the player on screen. I think Rage had told me that he doesn't want to play Luigi, Ichigo, and all that shit, even if he does win, because he doesn't enjoy how patient he has to be, right? And I completely sympathize with that. But brother, what is a Sheik doing? Like, you know what I mean? Rage has had a lot of secondary characters, and I think Sheik is the one he's been most invested into recently. But whenever you see like a secondary Sheik, I don't know why, but like secondary Sheiks never do that well. But there are things about Sheik that enable Rage's best aspects of his gameplay, like the fact that Sheik is one of the only tall characters with like a really good mark killer, you know, stuff like that. But Sheik is also one of Godly's like Godly has characters he will almost never lose to. Lloyd and Sheik are the main two. It's looking like all 46 these days, like all 46 characters he'll almost never lose to, but it started with Lloyd and Sheik. I can say that much. Zaire, what are your thoughts on the recent gas prices in Toronto?
They were pretty. They went like super high, but then they kind of went a little bit down. But I feel like they're a lot higher than I remember still. Yeah.
How much you be getting when you go get gas? You got a car that requires a lot of gas, or I don't drive, so for me personally, I don't.
Yeah, I don't drive either. Okay. we got it's
TTC.
Pretty good. Yep, TTC, yes sir.
Yeah, we got like a mediocre transportation over here. Like in Seattle, it's a lot of buses and stuff, but also there's like a train line, but there's only one like main line for the train.
Oh, yeah, I think my friend was actually in Seattle for like on an exchange program.
It's gone. And it was 2-2. But Godly was the one to do it. The prophecy, but it's like slightly off. But you were saying?
Oh yeah, I was saying that my friend mentioned how the transit there, it's like pretty good, but it's not as good as here.
Yeah. Oh no, Jack?
This Godly guy is just too good at SSF2.
He is quite literally too good. I always call him me, but if I held center, but he is quite literally 10 times better than even that. So that's how you know he's a problem.
That Nair killed?
No,
Low-key, I don't think up there kills there.
Yeah, up air never really kills Ichigo versus fast fallers. Like you have to be like 140 type shit. Oh my goodness.
That side beater read the roll. And the cross up.
Godly has been playing with so much confidence, and I think that's one of the main, like, obviously we both talk about how good he is at learning, because we both like coached him, so we know how good he is at learning. But one thing I will say is the amount of confidence he plays with these days is actually kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like he'll do it to you, right, when you're playing friendlies with him, and he's like, oh, you always do that, or like, yeah, so I'm just gonna do this. Like, there's no hesitation in his body, bro. Like,
yeah.
He'll just execute.
It's like, bro, like we were playing a friendly set, like, I don't know, maybe like 3 or 4 weeks ago. He was just calling out everything I was doing, and I was like, I'm gonna keep doing it because I don't care if you're right.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
I'm like, eventually you're gonna think I'm gonna do something else. I'm gonna just keep going. But yeah, it's crazy because he's so attentive to what his opponent is doing, and he knows what to do in response really quickly. Because like, there's one thing to know what your opponent is gonna do and not know what to do about it, and then, you know,
yeah.
just
I think our generation of players not to be corny and like say that we're in different generations, even though we're like 2 years apart or whatever, right? In age or whatever the fuck, right? But our generation of like top players, sorry, I'm eating some spicy shit right now. So if I'm like taking a while, bear with me. But I can handle the spice. It's just talking at the same time. But our generation of players has like really good pattern recognition, but like Godly is like that next step where he has a pattern recognition on some level. Like, I don't know if it's all the way there, but he is damn near like almost perfect at it. And also, he is really good at making the mid-game adjustment. But I think he learned how to be good at making the mid-game adjustment because of how much effort he puts in between sets. Like obviously, like, we both taught him, but in terms of the match analysis and stuff like that, like that's been something that I've worked with them about.
What?
Like,
why would you do that?
Oh man, yeah, the SD is really unfortunate. But just talking about our like my experience with him, right? Coaching him and everything. The match analysis shit. Like after every other tournament or every tournament he'd lose, he'd like ask like, okay, can we watch these sets? Or even sometimes I'd initiate it, but like he's really proactive in like trying to understand what went wrong from watching what he did wrong, which is not something our generation of players has ever done. Even these days, we don't really do it.
I would never do that. Watch my own house? Never. I don't need to be reminded of my failure.
But that's the thing though, like Godly is a perfect example of like we, unless we study history, we're doomed to repeat our mistakes, bro. He does not want to repeat his mistakes. Like I think his ability to like know what the right solution is developed as a result of like both obviously learning from his mid-set L's and like problems in middle of sets and stuff, but also just like watching the same situations over and over again, right? From watching his own gameplay and doing match analysis with other people and stuff like that. Like I give him a lot of credit in terms of that, and I think he's gonna push the game forward by doing that. Even though he hasn't done match analysis in a while, I want it. Man,
I mean, does he really need to?
That's the crazy part, yo. Gali is fucking him up right now, and it's to the point where we're commentating it like a podcast, even though that's what I've been doing for a while. But like, this is a podcast on top of the gameplay. There's no commentary needed. But
I mean, there's nothing to say really.
Yeah, and I think it's hard to switch mid-set to begin with. Like we've talked about this before, but it's really hard to switch mid-set and shit like that. But especially like when you're playing the more patient character after you switch, it's really hard, bro, to like make that switch.
Yeah. Also, Godly doesn't drop leads, so this game is over.
Yeah, oftentimes he really doesn't. He's really like when he's confident and he's not like giving up his patience or whatever, he's really good at maintaining that lead.
Why'd he go high? Oh shit. Jeez. Commentators curse? Surely no, right? Yeah, that's over.
Yeah, it's not one. Yeah, but it's really hard to switch to the more patient character mid-set. One thing with being able to switch characters is that you have to understand. Oh, he's going back to the roots. But
why did he go follow Ichigo? It's not that serious.
Oh man, he knows.
I've never seen someone win a game and switch ults.
He's crazy. But I think how Ichigo might have a like less of a winning percentage in tournament than Fullbringer, and that is quite literally just due to Godly. Like, but even like when me and Chaos were playing Fullbringer, that's when we were doing our best with Ichigo, and I don't know. Ace did really well, but he never won. So statistically, Fullbringer definitely has it, but Godly is the one person that could change that.
Yeah, I feel like the Fullbringer. Oh ult is kind of better though.
Ooh.
Hey, who invited this guy?
Me.
Alright, fine. No, Adi. Oh, shoot. You missed the, How did he know he was gonna... How does he...
Oh my goodness.
He's reading everything. Alright, does he read this too? He did, but he messed up on the punish.
You know what I was gonna what I was gonna say? Sometimes it looks like you're really reading somebody when in reality you're just reading them based on your positioning, and then you pull the trigger when you when they give you the cue to instill your confidence, right?
I mean, putting yourself in that position technically is
a read. Yeah, it is a read. No, don't get me wrong. It's just not a super committal one, right? Because you can shield in case they give you a cue for something else, right? Stuff like that. I think Gali does that a lot, and he's at his best when he's so patient with it. He'll space right outside the ledge versus slower characters, and just wait for them to fuck up, or wait, and then if they kind of do what he has to read, then he'll pull the trigger, and if they do what he has to react to, then he just waits even more, and he's so good about it. Gali is already the best player in the world, uncontested by far, especially in terms of tournaments. But he especially is at his best when he's patient, which is scary, right? Because it's if this guy was even a little more patient, would he even be dropping games, bro? Because he's so good at playing patient. It's not just okay, if I can't more, I'll win. He's genuinely good at the skills and skill set you have to have in order to be a patient player. And his character is also good at it too. But it's just the mental aspect of it that I think he's going to push further in terms of that.
Yeah. Down throw. Oh. I'm kind of surprised he missed that, but didn't really matter much. Wow.
The classic. And Gali closes it out, man. The mid-set switch is hard, and I hope Rage doesn't take it okay,